Welcome, my acolytes. I'm Graveseeker, and this is Illuminati Employee Speaks Out exclusive interview from VangelinaSkov. I didn't see it, but I'm very interested, and this creator is just wonderful, beautiful. She does her job extremely well, and she got an exclusive interview with a employee, as it sounds, because I didn't see it, of course. But I'm really excited to see what's actually up there, hear what they have to say, because this lady is a pretty big monster, so yeah, let's subscribe, everyone, and press the like button and notification, And by the way, if you also enjoyed this, please watch her thing, and of course, do what you have to do. Why aren't I subscribed for everything? What the frick? Okay, irrelevant. Let's start. Good.
Naughtie's employees has spoken out about her, and they have given us some big insights into how she was behaving behind the scenes, as
Damn. Nice.
well as some
And by the way, thank you for having normal human lips, unlike other creators that I cannot unsee after I seen it.
insights into how she runs the Illuminati channel, and a lot of other things that some of which I personally found really
She's a
shocking.
bitch.
Previously, we've heard from other people in the social media space about Illuminati. We briefly heard from Legal Eagle, another YouTuber who
Oh yeah, this, by the way, if you're interested, Illuminati actually accused him of copying
spoke out
her
when Blair falsely
something
accused
he did.
him of stealing her editing style. We
of
also heard from former members of Sad Milk, people like Wonderstruck, The Click, Oz Media, and One Topic at a Time. These are all creators in the YouTube space who have opened up about their negative experiences with Blair. And we even got a video from Cruel World Happy Mind who talked about the terrible experience that she had with Illuminati. As well.
Oh yeah, by the way, Cruel World Happy Mind, freaking awesome. The interview was freaking awesome. Like, she really did a good job about explaining stuff and doing stuff. Like, really, just if you're interested in this drama, just look at that or look at that.
I was hearing to a smaller degree from different creators as well. I have covered every single one of these things. There's a playlist linked in the description for you if you need to catch up or if you need a reminder, check that out. This, however, is the first time that an employee of the Illuminati channel who is not Wonderstruck or Oz Media or somebody involved in Sad Milk has spoken out about her. And I
hope for that, because I remember those others are also or ex-employees. Employees or ex-employees, but this is actually quite interesting. A new perspective of.
I am here today to provide you with an exclusive interview with this employee. Now,
Nice.
for very obvious reasons, this employee has requested to remain anonymous. So for the purposes of this
obviously.
video, we are going to be referring to them as Sam throughout. Now, Sam had
And by the way, I have nothing against it if there is someone that wants to remain anonymous, as long as the creator that actually does the interview is reliable and actually ask them or inform themselves if the employee is actually an employee of Blair or the target, let's say it like that.
quite a bit to say about what it's like working for Illuminati, as well as the way that she reacted to things while all of the controversy was going on. But let's start and get the good things out of the way
Interesting.
first. Because of course I had to ask them what it was actually like working for Illuminati. Was she an okay boss? Were payments okay and on time and everything like that? Now, I did assume that at a minimum this was going to be the one thing that was okay, but you gotta do your due diligence and ask. But thankfully, I was right. For sure, there wasn't anything abnormal about payment timing for me. It was all pretty standard. Unfortunately, though, that seems to be where the positives end.
Well,
Working for her seemed relatively normal for a while, though this would change over time. She didn't have a lot of communication with much of the team, from the weekly meetings we attended that she wasn't involved in, to the discussions about each video that she very rarely, if ever, posted in. I've talked with her for not much longer than I've talked with you already, which, to be clear, at this stage, we had barely talked at all at this point.
Okay, but by the way, as the things you do, I'm not sure if the meeting thing is even bad. Because at the end of the day, if I hire someone to do this job, I actually expect them to actually, hey, you edit this and put your mind in it. I assume, because how I would do it, I would be like, because, well, I mean, I don't know shit about editing. And most editors that I know actually like to give their own into it. Like, it's they do their best if they do their own. So if she just let them in working in peace, in my eyes, that's a good thing. I mean, I would just be like, well, okay, do it. I just want to hear what ideas they have, and it's fine. Just to talk with them, basically. And actually say them, hey, you did a good job, and show them my respect. Or if they fucked up, just give them a slap and be like, watch out.
So this kind of positions her as a very distant boss who was just sort of head of a company rather than the content creator, which a lot of people assume to a degree.
No, I think, this actually, no, content creation. Maybe I didn't think it. No, I need to think about it a bit longer, because is it different if you're a content creator? I don't know.
Agree.
Leave some comments how you see it, because it's actually quite interesting, because I don't know how I feel about it if I'm the content creator, because I'm really not in the situation right now. I would do it like I said I would do it, but is it the correct thing?
It was what was happening with Illuminaughtii's channel, but I just personally find it kind of strange, because I think YouTube is a space where you're not just getting entertainment. It's not just like watching a TV show, because part of what you're signing up for is the creator. In most cases, at least in the entertainment genre of YouTube, you don't subscribe to somebody unless you like them. You like their personality, you like the way that they convey things, or at least at the very minimum, you don't dislike them. No. There's a bit of a stronger connection there than with traditional media. But this more seems to be a case where the connection just isn't there, or it's just faked. And we're going to come back to that, because we do get more information later on about how involved she actually is in the...
But on the other part, I would disagree a bit, because there are a lot of people that actually don't care about the creator, but only for the freaking video that they made and the information they can say about it. Like, I would even say most people are like that, and that there is like the smaller community that actually gives a fuck about you, but this is smaller. Like, I already have one guy that already commented a few times right now, and I mean, one guy, not even one guy, I mean, even two different creators were, I mean, I follow more creators. My mindset in this is I want to see, I'm looking at creators that are like in my starting position, more or less. And if they do well, nice. But a lot of them actually already failed. But two where I'm really like fascinated and happy about, they do actually quite well. And but they also commented up in my channel. One of them, I'm even in the Discord of her. So, yeah.
The process. But during this conversation where Sam is talking about their experience with working for Illuminaughtii, they said something that I was really perplexed by. One memory that stuck out to me was a terrible comment made by a team member during a call that did include Blair. Blair didn't make this comment, but months later when she made the Illuminaughtii Exposed video, I found it hypocritical for her to claim comments Wonderstruck made were grounds for termination. yet let this comment slide. Before I move on with the rest of it, though, I want to tell you about the
Well, I mean, Blair is a hypocritical asshole, so...
sponsor of today's
nothing new
video,
there.
Fume. Going cold turkey might sound great in theory, but there is a better way to stop. The device itself is perfectly weighted and has a
Young lady, no.
Head to tryfume.com/VangelinaSkov to save an additional 10% on your order today. That link is in the description for you to check out as well. Thank you so much to Fume for sponsoring today's video. Now let's move on with the rest of it. Now just to recap, remember in Illuminaughtii...
And by the way, I'm gonna skip those just because if it was the internet historian, I'll watch them because they are funny as fuck, but this is just product placement. I'm not getting paid for it. And if you watch me, she's also not getting paid for it, so it's a time waste in my opinion. But if you want to support her, I mean, you're still gonna watch this video, her video, I assume, and do it like this.
Video when she was throwing all of the former Sad Milk members under the bus. One of the people that she discussed in that was Wonderstruck. Wonderstruck had worked for Illuminaughtii for a time as an editor. And one of the things that Blair said was that Wonderstruck had made an inappropriate comment in a work setting, and that this comment was grounds for termination. However, we later found that allegedly this comment wasn't all that serious, and that for some reason this was grounds for termination, but Wonderstruck never received any kind of warning about it.
This is the thing. I don't understand the termination because of comments or speaking to someone, because at the end of the day, okay, if it's a total asshole, I mean, yeah, that's freaking annoying. But I personally also made a lot of comments to women, to guys, like there are, well, if I speak with a normal human being, probably hurtful for anyone, including like flirting and things like that, but I never got any repercussions because of it. Like, that's why I personally don't understand. And there were like some really, really big things, but I also never did a comment like when I assumed that the person could get it in the wrong way. But I also threatened a couple of my workers they're gonna snap their necks if they continue. So I don't know, like maybe it's funny like that. Or I think one of my comments, the worst ones I did, I assume, was two of my workers, actually, when I was working in a butchery, did come in the work totally sleep deprived, two of them. And those were both a female and a male. And they cried all the time about, oh my god, I am so tired, I am so sleep deprived. So I just went in and was like, then stop fucking the entire time and just just sleep instead. And they both looked at me because I know the guy didn't have a girlfriend and the girl had a boyfriend, but he was away. And they just, the dagger look I got was just beautiful. But they never did something against it. They were like, they left at it. Like 5 seconds later, I just got a slap on the shoulder and it was like, you asshole, you rascal, you. And at this point, I wasn't their boss, by the way. At this point, I wasn't their boss. This was to a later time point. But at this point, no. So really, the comment thing...
The hypocrisy aside, it was an absurd comment to go unchecked by any decent workplace standards. The call was initiated as a sort of morale boost type of thing. We thought it was a meeting going into it, but we played Jackbox. So essentially this just sounds like a type of team building. There's a game where you write captions for images. There was an image of a monkey and the caption written for it was "Entering Detroit." This is the comment that was made by that other employee while Blair was in the call. Yet she did nothing about it and it went completely unchecked. Okay. Now if you're like me, and you were confused by this, I did have to actually ask for clarification. Good. And before anybody calls me stupid in the comments, I'm European. I don't know anything about Detroit. I had absolutely no idea what this was referencing when I spoke to Sam. So if you're in the same boat as me, Here's your clarification. Detroit is a city with a majority black population. The intended punchline being just racism. So let me reiterate what happened. They went into a call, a work call, with Illuminati present. They ended up playing Jackbox, with a game where you can add captions to images. One employee, while Blair is in the call, puts a caption on a picture of a monkey that said, "Entering Detroit, a city with a majority black population," and Blair said nothing. Now, I know that Sam said this is an absolutely inappropriate comment to go completely unchecked in a workplace setting. And I absolutely 100% agree, but I would like to add to that that is a completely inappropriate comment to go unchecked in any setting. I don't care if you're...
I disagree with that totally. In any setting, no. Because I myself, I have black friends. And you don't even know the racist shit they spew. Against me or against others. Like, for fuck's sake. Those are also human beings. It depends on the setting. Some settings, a lot of settings, it's not okay. But some settings, it's totally fine. And you can laugh about it. If they are your friends, you're fine. Yeah, I just don't know why, like, fuck this. If it's between friends, this is fine. If it's in a work setting, it's not fine.
In a call with your best friends and somebody that you love and adore says that is something that needs to be picked up on immediately. But personally, I cannot imagine a scenario where that comment would even have come into my head.
No, because I think you live in a different culture than I do. I come from Poland, and the guys I knew came from Poland, Germany, and we have a bit of different lookout on this thing. And as I said, like, if it's in fun, goodwill, that's fine. And yeah, there is a lot way worse hefty shit that people tell to each other as friends. And if you're at a point where you say, no, that's never okay, that's never... Yeah, you don't know the guy. The people you're talking with, they're just not your friends. Because if you know the person, if you know it's your friend, then you know the person. And then you know if they like this shit or not. And if they don't, you don't do it. If they do, you actually can talk about it. But you have to know the person, and if you claim they are their friends, you know that. You know that, and you either do it or you don't. It literally always depends on the context.
And I think if somebody made that comment in front of me, workplace setting or not, actually it wouldn't be a workplace setting, I don't have any employees, but any setting, I'm at the very least going to say, why in God's name would you think that that's an okay thing to say? So yes, like Sam said, hypocrisy aside, this is awful. And then you just add the hypocrisy layer to it, where Illuminati said that a comment made by Wonderstruck was grounds for termination, which was, by the way, nothing like this comment. But the Detroit comment by another employee, who presumably Blair just wasn't pissed off with at the time, so didn't really care, okay, goes unchecked. Now, of course, I did ask, were any other comments made like this after this or before this? Was this a common occurrence? Did Blair herself make any comments like this? And to Sam's knowledge, no. For one, it was very rare that Blair was in calls at all to be able to hear her making any negative comments. And for two, they said they had never heard any other comments like that in meetings that they were present in. But let's move on then, because Sam continued to talk about their experience and how things began to escalate. Things escalated, as may be predictable, when Illuminati's Legal Eagle tweet was made. Before this point, working for the channel was often standard for me personally. And of course, I had to ask, well, how did they escalate? The Legal Eagle tweets were made, and it's a complete surprise to most of us. A weekly call comes round, and everyone's discussing the tweets that came out. The situation's downplayed by most, people just saying the Legal Eagle stuff was handled the wrong way, but not that they didn't copy us, which they obviously did not. People were defending Blair. I do find it very strange that Legal Eagle's team weren't saying that Legal Eagle had...
Yeah, Illuminati is still not
copied
illegal.
Illuminaughtii and the Illuminaughtii channel. Because it was very, very clear, despite what Blair tried to say, that Legal Eagle did not copy Illuminaughtii. Again, I just need to remind you, because it's so absurd, the things that she said were plagiarized were a ripped paper effect and a highlighting text.
This is so fucking stupid. Like, creating trauma about this is so... so stupid. Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Two very, very common effects, which are used all over YouTube and all over traditional media, mostly in
I don't know how to do them, but yes, those are very...
documentaries. But I'm just going to say maybe it's just that that wasn't the purpose of the call, that isn't what they were discussing, but at least they said that it wasn't handled the right way. Now this call where they're talking about Legal Eagle and the tweets that were made ends, but there's another call soon after. Another call happens a bit later, and this time Blair's in the call as well, because she wasn't in the previous call talking about Legal Eagle or clarifying anything to do with the fact that she just decided to go on this rampage on Twitter and not inform her team. At least she's in this one though. She rants against the Sad Milk members, including Oz. I knew she was awful in doing what she was accused of by those Sad Milk members, but this call was absurd to me as it consisted of people piling onto and antagonizing those who posted against her. The tone was nothing like that of the Illuminaughtii exposed video that was made. There was hardly, if any, accountability, but rather listing issues with some of the people making accusations against her. Though...
Yeah, that's normal behavior. That's normal. I mean, it's shitty behavior, but it's normal human behavior to reflect it, because no, I didn't, you did it, and the sad part is it works more often than not. Not in a private environment where it's a little friend group, but the bigger the friend group, the more often deflecting and gaslighting works.
Oh, I would like to add that is a lot of what happened in the Illuminaughtii exposed video. I mean, the whole thing was just her throwing everybody under the bus, talking about their mental health and trying to make them look as terrible as possible. I mean, take the click, for example, where she said that he was using slurs constantly, that he allowed really horrible people into his Discord server and just didn't care. And don't worry, there will be some things said about the clique. But still, somehow in the Illuminaughtii exposed video, it did feel like she was trying to put this air of her being the better person in this situation, of her being the bigger person, but at the same time, she's sharing people's very intimate private details. So... not really great. I'm not endorsing anyone by any means, but it was off-putting that not only did these accusations come out against her, but most of this call was spent defending her or antagonizing others. When speaking with Sam, I really wanted to know what exactly she had said about the other people involved. And before I show you what they said, just for context, at this point, threads had been made about her from the Sad Milk members, but this was before Wonderstruck had made his video. Which of course means it was before Oz Media made his video as well. She said she heard from a source that Click underpaid an editor. She mocked Oz for various things such as the PC they built for her blue screening. Something which again we discussed in our previous video about Illuminaughtii, where her Discord DMs were leaked and she had been discussing this blue screening PC and using it to frame Oz Media as sort of just a terrible person who didn't care and was gaslighting her staff. And I believe she brought up the contract that...
I mean, is this something you don't expect
they
by
signed
now?
That'd have them owe her an absurd amount of money. She boasted this point and seemed happy about it. I think this contract is mentioned in Oz's latest video about Blair. And yes, this was mentioned in Oz's video, and I have talked about this in previous videos. Again, links are in the description for everything. It is so much to go into in depth in this video, especially since a lot of people will already know what I'm talking about, and I'll just be repeating myself. But Illuminaughtii had Oz Media sign a contract stating that he owed her a lot of money.
And by the way, if you want to know that, I'm also going to include the links to her video directly if I don't forget it and just look at it if you want know the context to this specific thing. But if you follow this, you should know what it is.
And that he would have to pay back quite a lot monthly. And this was all done under very shady looking circumstances. Because not only was the number that he owed her much higher than is seemingly possible, she also went into this with a lawyer knowing that he couldn't afford legal representation. So he didn't have...
And as one commenter actually said, that I actually quite appreciate, is that as Oz media was very young. And I actually said, yeah, I mean, basically the same, but I didn't explain it as eloquent as the commenter did. And I really want to say thank you for that one, because I should be more clear about that. Oz Media was a very young guy at it happened. And while I still think, okay, he's 18, he should carry the responsibility to a part, he's still a young person. And and we should really look at it from a more abusive perspective, like abuser-victim perspective, than, okay, he had full control over himself. No, he's a young guy. He got manipulated pretty hard. And it's just, I mean, it's sad because it's pretty easy to manipulate young people. It is. It just is for a grown-up person. It is, yeah.
A lawyer. And the fact that she's bragging about this and seems boastful about this kind of makes me wonder if maybe my own little theory about this was correct. Fully personal opinion, and I don't even know if I said this in the previous video, but it always felt to me, since this whole situation came out, that she was hanging this over Oz Media's head to silence him. Or even worse still, because she wanted to take legal action against him.
Yeah, of course.
Allegedly, potentially, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because if you don't remember, she is threatening to foreclose on his home before Christmas. But she only threatened this after he came out against her.
Of course.
And she could have done this at any time prior. So I don't know, it's just the fact that she seems gleeful about having this power over somebody.
Yes, because it's simple. If you have this kind of power over someone, and you're a manipulative piece of shit like her, you actually enjoyed it. And it is, I'm gonna tell you from my experience, if somebody thinks the right, they're just gonna do the right thing to get it behind them, and so they don't have to think about it anymore. Do what you have to do it correctly, do it as quick as possible. And I mean, don't overstep it, don't make it too early, but do it as quickly as you can. A manipulative person will actually hold up on these things and won't do it instantly. They will just wait, enjoy it, and then if they need it, just take it and do it. That's just how it is. And if some of your people that you know do that, there's a red flag for you. That's exactly as manipulative when I like one of my first girlfriends, she was a bad person, by the way. She actually just remembered things that I did wrong and just put them, like if we had some kind of disagreement, she just pulled them out like for things I did like 4 months ago. And since then I learned, yeah, if you do this, this is pure fucking manipulation. This isn't how an adult actually acts, and this isn't a person I want to be in a relationship with. And that's just freaking stupid. It is stupid. It is, no, it's actually quite smart, because most people fall for it. I mean, I wasn't different, especially young people. So, yeah.
About, you have acted wrongly, now I can lash out at you, I can take action against you. And to lend even more credence to the theory that she just wanted to take legal action against these people, she was absolutely going over some people she could threaten legal action with and describing ways she could do so. So she's bragging about the amount of money that Oz Media owes her, boasting about being able to take legal action against people, and describing the ways that she could do that. These to me do not seem like the actions or the words of a reasonable, level-headed person. She seems to immediately go on the offense, which, if you are truly innocent in a situation, would your instinct not be to say, I'm innocent and here's why, rather than trying to manipulate situations to make people look worse than they are, to spread allegations about people to your employees, and to brag about being able to take legal action against these people? I'd also like to add that I can't think of a single person on the planet who would be happy about having to go through the legal system. It's a slow and painful and expensive process to sue somebody. And in this call, she still had more
And you forget one thing. And the entire thing is dependent on the judge or the jury, and all of them can be emotionally manipulated. And that's just something that people who actually go to court regularly know and will abuse.
to say about these people as well. For the click, along with saying that he had underpaid an editor without any actual evidence, I believe she also mentioned that he said slurs multiple times. She would know, of course, given what we know about her alt account. This is in reference to the Doobie Schmerz account, which, as we saw, seemed to go on a bit of a smear campaign against the former Sad Milk members, particularly the Click. Obviously, no justification for what Click said in my opinion. It seemed weird to me that she'd antagonize someone for the same thing a member of her staff did, though. And once again, we have the hypocrisy of iilluminaughtii. And in this call as well, she had a lot to say about Oz Media. As we already discussed, she was making fun of the computer that blue screened and was bragging about the amount of money that he owed her. But it did not end there. She said she broke up with Oz long before Oz claimed. It was a lot of deflecting and shifting focus onto others.
Blair used this debt as a promise that this would specifically help mend our relationship, not our friendship, and put us on a better foot. It wouldn't be until a few weeks after signing that document that I would learn that she had already moved on, and had almost everyone in my daily life keep this fact a secret from me.
And this is not the only thing that she said. She had a
Scum.
lot to say about their
Scum. Just
relationship
scum
and
behavior.
things that went on in it. And saying things that to me seem like she's trying to put down Oz Media. And as well saying some really, really inappropriate, intimate sort of stuff that you shouldn't really be saying in front of your employees in a work call. And again, remember, she said that there was an inappropriate comment made by Wonderstruck, which was grounds for termination. But she's Blair, and she can say whatever she wants. However, although Sam did give me a lot of information about what she said in this call about Oz Media and their relationship, we both agreed that it would be best to keep this portion of the interview out of the video, out of respect for Oz Media. It's bad enough that she said this in a work call, we don't need to reiterate it here, but it might potentially be something that he already knows about, and maybe he'll choose to speak about this in his own video. But it wouldn't really be right for me to sit here and tell you all of that. And the only reason that Sam told me was to give context to the situation. They fully also believed that this information should stay private. One comment that does not need to be kept private, though, is the absolutely bizarre comment that she made that she wanted them all to be driving BMWs, and giving a sort of rallying speech that the channel was going to get through this, although most were laid off when the channel plummeted. So they didn't really get through this. I do feel terrible for those people who were laid off, and I truly hope that they were able to find employment pretty soon after that. But the reason that this sticks out to me is because what is with Blair and the...
I don't feel that bad for the people that actually stayed in it. Now, for everyone, no, because there are a handful that probably also got manipulated. But normally, as a boss, you're looking for like-minded people in your freaking firm, You actually look for people that think as you do. And it's possible in a smaller one. In a very big one, not really. In a big company, not really. But in a small company, you do that. And why are you doing that? Because they know you, they know how you will act, and you know how they will act. And you approve of that. And I think that Blair, most of the people that were in there are as because of scumbags as she is. Most of them, not all, because the ones that aren't probably left her a long time ago.
The BMWs. Why the obsession with the BMWs? I don't know if you remember, but she has a thing with BMWs. She just loves them. And of course, I did have to clarify if this was a similar situation to the whole Wonderstruck thing, where she wanted to be the one signing the papers in regards to them all getting BMWs. This, however, does not seem to be the case. It was just a comment of, wouldn't it be so great if we could all drive BMWs? What is with the BMW?
Yeah, is that some status thing in America? Because in Germany, if you see someone driving a BMW, you're like, yeah, that's an asshole. Like, don't talk to them.
Why the If I ever get to speak to Illuminati, which to be honest, I hope I don't, but if I ever do, this is the question I'm going to ask her. Why the BMWs? But let's get back to talking about Illuminati's way of working. Yeah. The way the channel was run, how many employees and things like that, because I needed to ask, how many employees does she actually have? Because we know that Illuminati has a team that write her scripts, that edit for her, probably that make thumbnails as well, which again brings into question how involved Blair actually is in Illuminati. From my recollection, there were 2 writers and 6 editors or so, some of which were contractors. There was also someone handling the financial stuff, and Oz was a sort of manager, I believe. Also, for more context, I remember Oz being there up until the legal evil tweets happened. I don't remember there being tension between them. It was all pretty abrupt as far as Oz leaving. Also, I don't remember Oz leaving being mentioned at all. They just weren't there anymore, and I imagine it's around when Oz came out with those tweets following the legal eagle situation. So it's a fairly large team, although the channel does upload quite frequently, but you'd hope that she would still be quite involved in the process. Although based on what Sam has told me, that doesn't really seem to be the case. There were some other things that bothered me, as there are with most any job. Others, not Blair, would write revision notes for videos after the first draft was exported. When she did write revision notes, which only happened once every few months, there would be hundreds of notes. I'm not exaggerating the number. The notes were written in a manner that made it seem like she was surprised at how the videos looked. She even had a note saying something along the lines of, "What happened to the old channel outro?" I'm paraphrasing. She had the same outro, referring to the new outro, not the old outro, for a long time up to this point. So it just conveyed to me that she was likely not very active in reviewing the videos that were being released. This, to be honest, is even worse than I imagined it was. Because I had an inkling that really all she did was just read the script and that was it. Because considering she has writers and she has editors, then she's just reading the content that the writers give her and then sending it off to be edited. But I had assumed, at the very least, you would be reviewing every single video that goes up. You'd be reviewing the edits, you'd be reviewing the script.
Even if I 100% trust my people, I still gonna control it at the end. That's still my name that goes in it. God damn it.
You'd be reviewing the thumbnails and the metadata, the tags, the description, everything. You'd want to review that. I can't imagine having a video going up on this channel that has my name attached to it that I have not reviewed and approved. Again, though, I don't have any employees, but say that I did, I'm not gonna just let you edit something and upload it and I've never seen it. For all I know, you've done a Logan Paul in Japan on the video. I need to see what's happening. So the fact that they have been using a new channel outro for a while and she had no idea, so when her time came to review the video, which she only did every few months, she was confused about the new outro. It just says to me, and obviously to Sam as well, that she's not even reviewing the videos. So at this point, what is the difference between iilluminaughtii and just a content farm? At this point, it's not even Blair. It's not even Blair's channel. It's a channel made up of the employees who are making the videos. All she is the voice. And with AI nowadays, you could do that without her. She doesn't need to be there at this point because she's not allegedly involved.
Today we're exposing the shimmering facade of Glimmerglow. This brand claims to light up your life with their exclusive range of glow-in-the-dark cosmetics. But here's the catch. It's less about the sparkle and more about the shady business practices. With a dazzling array of overly priced highlighters and neon eyeshadows, Glimmerglow lures in unsuspecting beauty enthusiasts with the promise of becoming a glow goddess. Beneath the luminescent surface lies a network of complicated compensation plans and unrealistic sales targets. So, let's switch on the light and reveal the truth behind Glimmerglow's glowing promises.
She's like some distant head of the company who doesn't actually really know what's happening in the day-to-day operations of it. It just seems, and again, this is, opinion-based, based on what I'm hearing from Sam and what I've seen on her channel already. It just feels like she's irrelevant to the iilluminaughtii channel. It could be done without her. It's being written and edited by other people. Like I said, you can get an AI voice, a pretty good, decent AI voice, get rid of her entirely. You could hire an actor. You could get anybody else to read it.
Yeah,
and
basically.
It would be the exact same. Which, like I was saying earlier, then what's the point? One of the great things about this form of media is that you're getting the person who's creating the videos. You're getting the person involved. And maybe they have people who help them research. Maybe they have people who help them write. Maybe they have editors. But they're still involved in the channel, in the process.
Yes, and this is like what I don't why would you cut off your community? And I don't mean the fuckers that actually just come, see you once and then piss off. I mean, like, really your community. Like, I personally think I owe my community like this, that I get personally involved in it. And I mean, what the fuck? As soon as this channel actually starts makes money, I'm gonna make really big, I'm gonna start making big improvements the more it does. Because hiring an editor, yes, I need one. Because I personally, well, I'm pretty shitty at editing. I'm trying my best, but it's just not in my blood to edit. So, but thumbnails, I don't fucking know how to make a good thumbnails or a title. So I'm trying my best, but well, the best me is talking, seemingly.
In the content, this just feels soulless and pointless. It just feels like another business to her because she has multiple businesses all the time. It just feels like it's another way for her to make as much money as she can as quickly as possible.
Yeah, it seems so.
Don't take it out of context. It's okay to want to make money from YouTube. YouTube pays my bills. I clearly want to make money from YouTube. But I don't...
Yes, but it's...
Don't do it as just another business venture that I'm going to put as little effort into as possible.
Yes, and this is... Yes, you're correct. This is the point.
I don't do this as like a side hustle. This isn't passive income to me. This is my career.
No, yes, this is your career, but I mean, you can also build up a career what Blair's doing. Let's be honest here. It is what it is. Or it worked a long time for her. But I also don't understand it because even right now, like at the end of the day, I still wanna have me in the videos. Those are my videos. Those are my children. Yeah, let's just say children. There is a piece of me in every video.
I'm involved in the videos. And even if I had editors and writers, researchers, whoever, I would still want to be the main person involved in the process. I would still want to be directing everything, having a say in the script, although I don't think I could read a script somebody else has written for me because it wouldn't feel like I was saying it.
It's not you.
Like, I want to use my own words. I would still want to be involved because this is my channel. These are my videos. But what she's doing makes it seem like it's not hers, like it's an amalgamation of the employees and she's just there.
Yes, of course. And it's like me, I couldn't read a script, and if someone shoved me a script in my hands, I would be like, what the fuck is this? You don't know me. Because I bring to the table what I bring. And you acolytes actually know that, or maybe some of you, maybe you don't, because the fact is, English is my third language. This is the language that I'm weakest at, and it's just, you hear it, you know it. I struggle sometimes, I forget words, I can, sometimes I spit something in German or Polish out, and it is what it is. I mean, this is my part, my personality should be in it. And a script that somebody else wrote down, like, by due or respect, this just won't convey what I am, who I am.
Taken all the credit. So really, what is the point? But I know as well you guys want to know what happened after everybody made their threads and people made their videos about her. Rather than being concerned for the well-being of the people who released videos about their experiences with her, she was celebrating that legal action could be taken against them. Again, she just seems to want to take legal action against people. It's like she immediately, like I already said, goes on the offense, is happy that she can attack people, rather than saying, I'm innocent and here's why, or rather than taking accountability for the things that she's done. She did not seem regretful of her actions at all. Any point that was brought up in a video that she felt she could take legal action against was highlighted. She tried to justify legal action being taken against them by implying they deserved it, and implied she was sticking up for our team. And I feel like that just sums up Blair and everything we know about her in a nutshell. People shared their negative experiences with her, and instead of doing any kind of self-reflection, instead of taking any accountability, or if she truly was innocent, instead of just proving her innocence and leaving it at that, she goes on the attack. And she's happy she can go on the attack.
Yep.
She's going and highlighting everything from every video that she could possibly use against them, celebrating that, and then justifying it to her team, once again trying to make it seem like she's the good guy in this situation. She's the one doing the right thing. She's defending her team. She's making an us versus them situation, which sounds a bit like a cult. And if you really think about it, it also sounds like some of the criticisms that people have against MLMs. Illuminaughtii is everything that she has disavowed, everything that she has criticized.
And by the way, just saying what you said before, my dear, you said something very, very that sounded like this, us versus them mentality. Not exactly the same, I'm not saying that, but you don't go into extremes, just think about it and stay more in the middle, because as you just told it, us versus them is an extreme. Thinking that everything's racist that you spew out is also extreme. Don't do that. And you will be mentally better off if you just think a bit broader. In every situation you can. Don't just go for your things that you learned when you are younger, like now. Because if you after you get older, the world looks extremely different.
And with the inappropriate comments made by employees that completely went unchecked while other employees she didn't like were punished for their comments, with the way that she lashes out and attacks people at any given opportunity, the way she boasts about money owed to her, sharing private details of her relationship with her employees, and uses any opportunity possible to antagonize and speak badly about anybody she feels has wronged her. To me, Blair just feels like a massive hypocrite. A hypocrite who puts herself on a pedestal above everybody else.
Damn, you're nice about this. She's a massive bitch. Including the hypocrite and stuff. She's a monster. Like, I will really say she actively works towards actually destroying people's life just because she wants it. Yeah, sorry, that's a hypocrite is way too nice a word to describe this bitch.
Condemning them for the same things that she's doing and that she's doing worse. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much to Sam for speaking to me and giving me permission to share all of this with you guys. Do of course leave me a comment and let me know what you thought about everything that we discussed in today's video.
Wappity web, good video. Continue as it is, and yeah, thank you for watching, acolytes, and yeah, the new information always entertaining. The lady is also always entertaining. Really, really well. I don't have to agree 100% with everything every time, but this isn't particularly a nice photo. Dress hands, perfect.
It's tied up right now.
Yeah, perfect.
Let me know what you thought about everything that we discussed in today's video, and if you don't want to comment about that, then leave me a comment and let me know if I should cut my hair, because it's quite long at the moment. I'm thinking just to cut it like to here, like the same length as my...
Okay, it is what it is. Good night, acolytes. I got distracted again. That's not good. Ciao.